game. Just what were you guys trying to do at the end there?
That's what we were trying to do, just get a good quality shot. I thought he got a good look.
And another one, the free throws hurt you. How much did that kind of impact this game?
Yeah, it's going to impact every game. We it's something that we're working on, but we got to step up to the line and make our free throws as a team. We missed 10 free throws. So the free throws and the rebound, and we tighten up that, we have a better opportunity to win this game. But I don't want to take anything away from Dallas. They did a great job of adjusting, being the more physical team, making it a point to rebound. That's how we beat them last game, is we offensive rebound late game, and they reversed it tonight or today.
It's been a while since we talked about this. This another game that came down in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
What do you think about the execution late and when it kind of
I think it needs to continue to improve. Last 5 minutes of the game, I think it's a tie game. Maybe we're up a little bit, and we didn't do enough. And so it's an area of improvement for us for sure.
Week tonight is officially the halfway point of the season. Just what are your big picture thoughts on what you guys have done these first 41 games?
I think it's a lot of positives. I think our defense and offense is in a good place. Tonight, it's kind of hard to reflect on that at the moment just because we're still in the emotional loss. But I think overall, big picture, we're in a good place, but we have room to continue to grow and improve.
And only 23 3-point attempts for you guys. What did you do to prevent you from getting those looks?
Just not enough on our part. I don't know if it was anything that they did, but, that's another deciding factor. 18 made threes. They attempted 43. We made 7, and we only attempted 23. So, like I said, we have room to grow, improve. We'll get home, watch some film, have a good practice, and get ready for the next game. Okay, thank you.
All right. For all things Pelicans, y'all know I tuned into the Pelican Post Game Report. Much love.
That's all the questions they gonna ask him?
That's pretty. See, what else you want to know, brother?
I had a lot of questions.
All right, the Pelicans fall apart late and lost to the Dallas Mavericks, man. 2 players, man. Kyrie, man, listen, man. Irvin and Hardaway. Them dudes was awesome, man. And the Pelicans,
Nobody asked him how he let them score 80 points? No.
82 points, wasn't it, DC? It was 82 points between both.
82 or 81?
It was 83.
80.
Oh, damn, we both wrong, Q.
83. Dial it back. I was trying to make myself feel better. Thanks a lot, Lex.
No problem.
Okay, there you go. So there you go. Shout out to the fan. Appreciate y'all being in the stream. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button by all means. Feel free to share the show on your social media feed. Pelican Post Game Report. We up in this thing, man. Pelicans go down 125-120 to the Dallas Mavericks team. They had this team.
It is Martin Luther King Day, and Marley would like to drop a message.
He
had a dream.
Yes.
He had a dream that they were going to win today.
Uh-huh. And it was just that. It was a dream because it damn sure wasn't reality. So let's get a little recapping going on right quick. Lex, I'm gonna start with you. What do you think about the Pelicans today? They had an opportunity. They had this game. They had it, and then they didn't have it. What you think?
I'm going to defer to DC because I took notes during the game. So I'm gonna break a lot of things down, but I like to defer to DC first.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go and just point out the obvious then and let you get to your notes. To me, this game, we didn't show up in the clutch, man. We had a lot of things that happened. Well, we shouldn't even got to that point. For instance, the 13, 14 offensive rebounds, the 18 points they had, second chance points, can't hit free throws. Especially down the stretch, Zion got to hit them too. BI was atrocious, man. A lot of this, I don't know if it was rush from them sitting out that one game or what you want to call it, but it just was a horrible showing, man. We go out there and we beat the same team that they put out today. Well, not exactly the same because they did have Derek Lively come and play today, and he made a big impact. But the prior game, they had think Jones, who scored like 24 points, and he was out. You had Tim Hardaway Jr. actually got banged up for a moment. Then he came back in and proceeded to rain more threes. But we got to pride ourselves on defense, and we lost on that end, as well as not showing up in the clutch on offense, man. Horrible showing. They did play with some energy and effort from the majority of the game, and they let go of the rope, as Willie would say at the end.
All right, Lex, what kind of notes you took?
Okay, so yeah, I think now the team is 6-14 in games decided by 5 or less points. So no wait, I'm sorry, I had that backwards. It's 5-15. Yeah, switch that. Yeah, so let's see here, man. This game was very interesting. The start of the game, they didn't look right. Obviously, they got off to a slow start. And as usual, the goal was to get Brandon acclimated in the game. Of course, Brandon, he never really got acclimated in the game. I mean, he went 0 for 5. By the time he scored, they were free throws, and that was around like 2:29 at the end of the first quarter. CJ picked up 2 early fouls. But one thing that I really wish would have happened, and I see this a lot, and it goes back to the Alvin Gentry days, is that I don't understand why we still have stretches where Zion goes long stretches without touching the ball. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened in the first quarter. Zion, his first shot attempt, I don't know if y'all saw this. It was a 10-footer. It was on the right side of the court, and it was a fadeaway. He made that. That right there was a good sign, because usually he's going left, people, and he was on the right side. And that was the only shot he made. And when I saw that shot, I was like, okay, that was very uncharacteristic. That's something that we don't typically see. My thing is, at the 7-minute mark, why did Willie Green take him out? One thing that we immediately saw in this game is that Dallas was very physical. Okay? Mm-hmm. They were very physical. That's the adjustment. Okay? That's that A word. That's the adjustment that Dallas made from the last game. They were more physical. It's like, okay, so you saw they were more physical. It would have been nice for Willie Green to call a timeout to really gather them up, but he let them, I guess, play through it. But my thing is, if they're being more physical, you got to counter that immediately, because that's why they got out to that big lead. It's like, again, the adjustment that he made was like, it was delayed. And I didn't like that at all. I just think that was a bad move. And then it's like, look, if BI's having problems getting acclimated in the game, like Zion clearly had it going. Again, go to the hot hand. You know what I'm saying? It's like he wanted to keep going to BI as far as getting him acclimated, but it's like he was struggling the whole game. I just don't. It seemed like he was working harder to not go to Zion than to actually go to him. Let's see here. Late in that quarter, though, the Pels started to attack more, which was really good. Now, I know I am going to get to the free throws. One thing that I did notice is that Trey missed both of his free throws, which is very uncharacteristic of him, because that was actually coming down the stretch as well. And I was listening to Antonio. He was like, "Oh wow, Trey missed both of them. He didn't make not one, and that was at an actual key time." And I also know Zion, he didn't make his. I don't know. In the second quarter, though, they did go to point Zion. You know, he just really had it going. Larry Nance and Zion had a lot of synergy. I really like that. We did see, you know, Trey, Zion, and Jayhawk up in there all at the same time, but Trey, he's been hesitant. He doesn't look right out there. I don't know if anybody saw him, but Trey doesn't look right. I know they run him off that line a lot, but I said this before. I really wish he would start pulling up and taking those shots, because the way that they're coming at him, they would foul him easy. That's 3 shots at the free throw line, but he's always running off that line. I don't understand why he does that. I think he does it too much. But yeah, I just think as far as rotations wise, Willie just didn't I know in the fourth quarter he called a timeout and there was a lineup. Again, he went to his default, his fail safe. He went to defense. And it's like, dude, you weren't stopping anybody. Hardaway was already in a rhythm. Kyrie was already in a rhythm. How do you counter that? If you're not stopping anybody, go to offense. Put your shooters out there. You got to put your shooters out there. This dude called a timeout. This was, I believe, at the 4-minute mark. He brought out the same 5 guys. I think that's when we were up like 111. It was 111 to like 109. And then when they came back out of that timeout, I think it was Kyrie who shot a 3 and went up 112. You should have brought Zion and Nance in at that time. Why did you wait? Why did you wait to make that, to make that change, especially in the clutch? Like, you have to make that change. You can't wait. You were delayed. And that's what the problem is. You're delaying. Your timing of the adjustment is delayed by like a minute, 2 minutes. By that time, it's too late. You have to do it before. And he even did that in the third quarter at a crucial time. And it's like, dude, why would you call a timeout and not do your substitutions during that time instead of making a timeout and then you send guys up to the table to substitute in, and then it's like, well, you got to wait till a dead ball. So guess what? That means more time is going off the clock. It's like that's been happening every single time. And that's all it takes is that 1 minute, 2 minutes. And it's like it's too late. It's really too late. Especially, you got to have a feel for the game. And that's why I said that, in the show before. He doesn't have that feel. Like, you have to understand the flow of the game. It's a feel, it's a vibe, it's an energy. Are you paying attention to that? And if you're not, it literally can, like, just being delayed like that can throw the whole, like, it can dig you into a deeper hole that's harder to get out of. Or you can lose the lead. And guess what? That's exactly what happened. Lost the lead, never got it back. So, that's basically what I saw. This game was very winnable. But the timing of the timeouts and the substitutions, they could have been done way better. It's more so about being proactive instead of reactive. And I feel like that part right there, that would allow us to win this game.
Yeah, this was This much Pelicans was about as much as 10 points in this matchup. Listen, I know it, and I like to kind of keep it simple. Y'all always know I always focus on the fundamental things. What could we control in the game? Well, we can control us hitting free throws. The Pelicans, fam, they got 41 attempts in somebody else's building. 41 attempts, and they hit 31 of them. They left 10 points out there. They lost by 5. It's just ridiculous, man. I mean, those type of things matter, and they matter when you're in somebody else's building. Like we talk about the Pelicans not getting their due from the foul line. These people, the referees, and they were awful tonight. But I mean today, but they gave the Pelicans 41 flipping attempts from the foul line. The Pelicans could have beat this team from the foul line alone if they were fundamental enough, if they were good enough at it. Now they shot 7 of 23 for 30-something odd percent. There was over 50% shooting from the field. But my goodness, man. I mean, it's just crazy, man. But anyway, DC, you want to add anything to it before we jump to the preview stream, bro? Would you want to add something? That was a pretty
Yeah, Lex had a lot of detailed notes, man.
yeah. That was
Hit
pretty
on a
solid.
lot of points. But ultimately, all of that definitely played a huge part. But it just comes down to really simple. This game to me is free throws and rebounding. Like and also the 3-point attempts. There's no way that we know the statistic. You know, if we don't hit 8, 9 3-pointers, we ain't winning the game. So you can't let a team hit 18 and then you only hit 7. You know, and then on top of that, you miss 10 free throws, and then you give them all of these second chance points. I loved what Zion did offensively, but man, looking at the stat line, it's almost perplexing. Like, how can you play that well but only get 1 rebound? Like, I see him, he's hustling on defense. He's helping and getting back on his man. He's doing a lot of things that we've complained about in the past. Well, but I just can't wrap my head around this rebounding issue. If Zion leaves this game with 6 rebounds, do we win? I mean, it was really that close. You know, a few more possessions, you hit a few more 3-pointers, you hit 4 or 5 more of your free throws. If you hit them 2 to tie the game, we don't know what would have happened. So many different things you can look at and say we could have won this game, but ultimately, if you're really looking at it, man, it just comes down to fundamental basketball. You know, not allowing the team to get all of these extra possessions in the game, especially at the end of the game. Willie going to lineups that we have proven they work, regardless of how well Trey is playing or Hawk. To me, when they had those guys out there together this game, the offense seemed to be flowing just fine. You know, I'd have liked to see more of that lineup in the fourth quarter. You know, maybe that could have changed some things. But if we hit our free throws and we rebound the basketball, regardless of who he put out there, because I did see that, Lex, that lineup he put out there. Well, he put Dice was the first person to come off the bench with BI and Zion, and BI is stale. I'm like, man, why?
Yeah.
He put a shootout there, bro. Like we're struggling to score. Put a shootout there.
And that's understanding the flow. That's why every game is going to be different. You have to understand who has it going and who doesn't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just as simple as that. Same thing is, who has a hot hand. I mean, because really, obviously, BI's production wasn't there. Really, I don't think in really much of anything. I don't know if his Achilles was bothering him, but like I said, he didn't have a field goal at all in the first quarter. The only shots that he had was at the free throw line.
Achilles, I think.
And not to mention Powell. Powell, he landed on his leg, and I'm like, dude, that dude's been kind of reckless. He's the same guy who fell on Kyrie's leg and had him out. So, I mean, that looked kind of interesting there, but I don't know. It could be his Achilles or something that's bothering him, but I mean, he just didn't have it going. And obviously, like you said, having Dyson out there and, BI doesn't have it going, you got to have another shooter. You got to have somebody. But I don't know. I think when Dyson and Herb were out there together, that was actually hurting us. Having one out there, one of them two, was fine as long as we had another shooter. But both of them, every time both of them were on the floor, we had problems, man. We had problems.
Yeah, DC, you want to add on there, or are you ready to jump to the next one? Because I know
We can go ahead to the preview, man. The Dallas Mavericks kicked the Pels in their ass, knocked our feathers off. Now we're gonna go on to the Hornets.
they got feather dusted, and they got their feathers dusted.
Yeah, man.
All right, so anyway, next matchup, fam, we got the Hornets here, and Hornets coming up. They're on a 5-game losing streak currently. They did get LaMelo Ball back recently. They lost to the Miami Heat. LaMelo put up 21 points here. They're 8-28, 8-29 team. So they're just what the doctor ordered for the Pelicans after a tough road stretch. The Pelicans came off, and they get a home game against a not a very good team, a lively team, but not a very good team. And of course, you see the matchup indicator right there, 8.4% chance for gambling.
So is that that's for gambling purposes? Even when it's 90-something%?
Hey, when I say gambling purposes, it's all about your perception. You know,
wait, I
never say which way when it's blowing.
Put my money on the Hornets, Lex.
It depends on your perception, DC. I'm just pointing out it's for gambling purposes.
So let's peer into this, fam. What do we have to do to come up with the win? This is what the doctor ordered for the Pelicans after coming off the stretch. We got the Charlotte Hornets, not a very good team statistically. You can see all the numbers right there. Not a very good team at all. Only top 10 in free throw percentage, but outside of that, but they did get LaMelo Ball. They still got Scary Terry and some other people. We can't let these guys come in here and kind of shock us. The Pelicans got to do what they got to do. How do we get the dub, DC?
Go ahead, Lex. Take it first. I need a second to regather myself.
Well, one, energy. LaMelo is back, and he seems to be like ready to go. We know that any team that has a stellar guard, we usually have problems with them. So we really do need to match that energy. I do have a quick question. This is at the SKC, right?
That's right.
Okay. But I'll go with what I always say: come out with a lot of energy. Jump on them early. I think with this loss to the Mavs, which I do want to point out, that Mavs game was so important to get, because now if we would have won that game, we would have had that tiebreaker, and now we don't. So just in case you all didn't know, so they'll always be on top if we have this like the same record. But anyway, we just gotta come out with energy, defend, push pace. I know Charlotte wants to run as well. Guys just gotta, execute and get rebounds, make free throws. I believe that we will do that. This team is small, so they do get beat up by a lot of teams because of that. So we do have size, and that works in our favor. That's how we beat them the last time. But yeah, one thing is that LaMelo, he does a lot of slashing, the shake and bake and all that stuff, throwing alleys and different things. So we really have to make sure that we contain him and not let him, attack in the lane and dish off, because he does that a lot and he's pretty successful at it. So we just got to make sure we contain that as best we can and play to our strengths, because they don't have the size to contend with the Pels.
Yeah, and I think be able to get the dub, it'd be pretty simple. We had a lot of practice. This is the Dollar General version of the Dallas Mavericks. You got LaMelo Ball, who's moonlighting as Luka Doncic, Terry Rozier, who's an off-brand Kyrie Irving, and if Gordon Hayward here, you could say he's Tim Hardaway Jr., but he isn't. So this is a lot easier matchup than what we just faced, but it's a similar play style. And I think in order for them to be able to beat them, cutting off the head of the snake. You still got the wild card and Brandon Miller. You don't know if he's going to play. What is he, day to day? He can add something. He's a rookie, so it's kind of up and down at times. But when he has it going, he can be pretty dangerous. But overall, man, the Pels they got to play their brand of basketball. They got to tighten up the loose ends with their BS, as far as not hitting the free throws, getting those rebounds. They fix those mistakes, don't turn the ball over, and play their style of ball, man. This is a dub. But, we're going back home, and you can't just roll in there thinking these people are going to lay down. LaMelo Ball just came back. They've had a horrible start to the season, and they're probably looking to, make up for that. It's a long season, so you can't tell them that their playoff hopes are over. So they're going to come out scratching and clawing, man, trying to get a dub. So we look at this one and we like, ain't no big deal. We lost to Dallas. We just going to go get this victory from the Hornets, not really taking them serious. Looking forward to the Phoenix matchup that we have after this game. That'll definitely get us an L, because I don't think they're going to come in there to play. A lot of times when we played Charlotte, we thought we would beat them, and Charlotte then got some wins on us before. I remember one time we had Lonzo Ball, they embarrassed the hell out of us on national TV. With some of these same guys we still have on the team. So if they go in there, they locked in, they have some type of pride about themselves and are upset for losing this Dallas Maverick game, and they can correct the simple mistakes that caused them to lose that game, I think this will be an easy victory for us. Well, I guess Big Q done passed out.
He probably heard that.
But nonetheless, moving on to the next matchup.
I'm sorry. I had something. I had a little problem there, but
okay.
right.
I actually did want to mention the Phoenix matchup too, man. And
all right, there we go. So I had something going on, fam. I had my sound all jacked up. But anyway, thank y'all, man, for that. DC, shout out to you. I heard that. More pineapple power to you, brother. Appreciate you.
I told you.
I thought you passed out, man. I know you be eating that sweet ass curry. Sometimes you just gotta take a nap. You gotta take a nap. You gotta take a nap, bro.
No, bro. No sweet. It's no sweet curry. That's you that passes.
A diabetic sugar coma.
No, that's
that Jamaican thing. He said Jamaican thing, DC.
Yes.
Jamaican. He been watching too much of the Bob Marley movie. That's what his problem is.
No, actually, brother, that Bob Marley movie actually didn't tell the story correctly, brother. They had.
How would you know?
Well, because I know you. You told me.
The hell would you know if they told the story correctly or not?
They were supposed to put in the bobsled scene that you like. That's the favorite movie. They didn't put that in there, so I
ain't had no snow, Q.
Well, see, I'm saying, brother, that was a part of the culture, brother. You're supposed to throw that in there. That's a dub, man.
Man, you know that was fake as Santa Claus, right? They had no bobsled team in Jamaica. What the hell they was practicing that?
Brother, that was a real event, brother. Okay, you done. All right, so anyway, shout out.
Goddamn Disney movie, Q.
I hear you, DC. I got you. All right, so anyway, listen, fam. Listen, this was a tough one here, man. Pelicans go down 125-120 in the loss. MLK I think they'll come back against I'm about to say Bobcats. The Hornets might as well be the Bobcats. They ain't shit. Playing against the Hornets coming up in the Smoothie King Center coming up here really soon. So we just need to rebound. And the thing about it is the Pelicans be in these games, bro. They be in these games. It's like certain little things, man. We talk about Willie's annoying adjustments and his rotations and bringing this guy out when he hot. Oh, he getting a little too hot now. Let's bring him on out. Let's calm him down. I mean, all this kind of stuff is weird because it's starting to be real. It's starting
That ain't what it is, brother.
Okay, what is it, DC? Let us know.
He was hot. And nothing, I mean nothing, is beyond playing defense. If you don't play defense, you got to come out the game. Care how hot you is.
If you're scoring 30 points,
Are
you
you
got
talking about specifically J Hawk?
I don't care who you is. If you mess up defensively, I'm sitting you down. God damn it.
Okay, so what's
defense
the
first
excuse
team.
for CJ
Defense
and
to all
P.I.?
that.
So you can take unintelligent shots and still stay as long as your defense is good.
Go get a turn. Go get us the ball back.
You
Well,
can
You know what?
stop the guy.
so you can pull up and take dumbass 3-point shots when you cold as a cucumber out here and still stay in the game if your defense is all right.
Didn't you get a two-handed block after you do that? Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead, Lex.
that was an impressive block.
I'm gonna continue to say it, man. Look, if that's the case, hey man, just forfeit the game if you gonna do that. If you helping the opponent team to beat you, because that just don't make no sense. I mean, when you're neutralizing your own players, I mean, what else are you doing? What
Right.
else?
Right.
And that I got a huge problem, man. You can't do that, man. Don't take out somebody who has it going, and then once they get into a rhythm, you're breaking that rhythm. Do you know how hard it is to get into a rhythm? Like you finally get into a rhythm, then you gotta find it again.
You just put on some music, Lex. It's pretty easy when you got some music.
Well,
music is playing in the arena, DC. I'm just saying, like that.
Get your damn guitar, DC, and play a tune for us, man.
There you go.
Get your tune.
Get us back in rhythm. Now I'm gonna do it on the sideline at the game, bro. Get us back in rhythm.
Just as long as you don't sing, just play the guitar, don't sing, okay?
Man, I've never seen that before. You know what I'm saying? You a head coach and you neutralize your own players. I mean, talk about trying to hurt somebody's confidence. Obviously, you're hurting their rhythm and just flow. But that just goes to show to support that he doesn't really have that flow of the game. And I know y'all feel like I pick on Willie, but I'm seeing a lot of things that do not look right. Like you don't see that with other coaches. You don't see it. And if you do, please let me know, because I mean, look, I mean, there's been other coaches that I don't care for, because it takes me some time to figure them out and understand their philosophies and things. But you just don't do that to players, man. You don't do that. I mean, I don't know if it's like agenda driven or what, but I
don't think it's agenda driven, Lex. We know Willie's weak points, and it's the two main things we harp on. Shout out to Bob Marley, by the way. And we harp on those 2 points because that's the glaring, weakness that he has. But you gotta get a man some credit, man, and point out that the Pels over the last 10 games, we're 8-2 on the road. So Willie does at times. I don't like the rotations. At times I wonder, what are we doing offensively? I don't never really question too much what we're doing defensively outside of our rotations, or when a guy gets hot and we can't stop him, which typically don't happen all the time. You have some nights where that does happen, but Willie he's not a bad coach, but I think the expectations sometimes, because we see the players we have, we see the greatness that this team possesses and what they could be. And you want the same thing out of Willie. But I see it all across the board with him. I see the players get right up to that line. Like, it's right where he could be a really, really good coach. And you just, these simple things you fumbling and bumbling with. And the same thing with the players, but we're going to say, I guess that's they're embodying their coach. It's like we get right up to that line, and it's very simple things that you're able to do that could propel you from just being a good team to possibly a great or contending team. And every time we get right there, we just aren't able to cross that line. I do see the Pels making the playoffs. Um, I am very encouraged, regardless of this L, and hopefully that Willie can figure it out, because I know we get on him. You get on him a lot, Lex, and I think you point out a lot of things that are true. But the one thing I don't think is said enough about Willie, he's been here. This is Willie third year. This is really the first time he had everybody. Like he hasn't had Zion and Bi together and CJ all together consistently with JV and the rest of the starters. So I know we talk about it being a learning process, and you're like, well, DC, how long is the learning process supposed to be? I don't know. But I do know that I think these things will still improve. It is very frustrating to see the same thing over and over again with some of these mistakes. But I did notice tonight that Willie gave Hawk all of Jose's minutes. I did see that. Now, will it stay? What's your word, Lex? Will it stay consistent? Only time will tell.
Well,
But
it's situational. It's situational, but go on.
yeah, and I think for Hawk, I don't think it should be. To me, he's a rookie. He's doing what he's doing now. You give him more minutes, he'll only get better. It's not going to get worse. So you gotta let him play. But Najee and Jose, I think, can be situational because of what we got with Hawk and Trey. Willie, though, he got some improving to do. What I say, the offensive sets and things they execute down the stretch are improved from last year, because I remember last year that was our major harping point that we would get on them about late in games and not calling plays, not running sets. Still improvement to be had there, but they're doing that better. I see some of the lineups actually changing as time goes on, even though there are late adjustments. But with Willie, I've learned to look at him and look at it based on what the man said he gonna do. Lex, every 10 games, he's gonna do everything in 10-game increments.
No, that's
Until
not.
that philosophy changes, that's what it's gonna be.
Hey, in a 7-game series, we gonna be ousted by the
Wait
time.
for them other 3
There's
games.
no 10 games. It's just 7 games, and then in those 7 games, you gotta at least win 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is no 10. It don't even go past 7. I'm just he just, you got to make those adjustments, man. And it's basic things. I mean, there's things that we've seen in the past that work, and it's like, why don't you continue to incorporate the things that work and stop incorporating the things that don't work?
Can I ask you one thing though, Lex? Because we talk about Willie a lot. What onus or what I guess pressure or blame what we gonna put on the players sometimes? Willie makes his fair share of mistakes. You're right. But I think sometimes, this game to me, this game was on the players. Willie made his mistakes that you pointed out. But if Zion hits those 2 free throws, right? If Bi gives you more than 3 for 14,
yeah, he get 12 points.
Right.
He's
been playing bad for the last 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
Well, he might be hurt.
Well, the thing is, if he's hurt, then why is Willie playing him?
Zion
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Zion had one rebound tonight. Willie ain't.
Yeah, I know, and I said that he needs to get more rebounds. The whole team, this team, has been plagued with the rebounding. It wasn't just Zion; it was the whole team. Like the beginning of the season, that was a problem. Now, specifically, I will say Zion's got to do more, and we are starting to see, as far as defensively, Zion is moving his feet. That dude is getting up to block shots. I really like his defensive activity. Now that has been consistent.
Called it, Q.
What?
No, Q had 125 Pelicans up there, 120 Dallas.
Oh, okay. But yeah, but definitely, yeah, Zion, and he was getting rebounds, and then he just dropped off. But yeah, he's got to get more rebounds. But it's not just him. I mean, really, it's a lot of people. It's like one thing that I saw, guys were boxing out, but it's like, okay, once you box out, get the ball. They didn't continue to go after it, like follow through. Okay, you boxed out, but they still have the ball. And I think the crazy thing is that in like one possession, you're talking about getting second, third, fourth chances. At some point in time, especially the way that Hardaway was shooting the ball and Kyrie, they were just on cloud nine. That's why I was saying, like, at some point, look, Herb ain't stopping nobody. Hey, it ain't that not on Herb today. Dog, we need some shooting. You need to take either Herb out or take Dyson out and get some shooting up there to counteract that. You can't always fall to defense because you weren't stopping anybody. But yeah, I mean, the whole team, the team as a whole has to do better as far as rebounding, because it seemed like we reverted back to, our rebounding woes, because that just killed us. So, but yeah, I mean, the team does have to step it up. They do have to step it up. I'm not just putting things on Willie. I just see a lot of things, like, again, taking out somebody who's hot does not make sense. That's hurting the team. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because let me tell you something. Jason Kidd was not taking out Hardaway. Hardaway was feeling it. You hear me?
Ankle about to fall off and everything, huh?
Yeah. And he didn't want to come out. You see what I'm saying? He didn't break that. He encouraged it. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what we need Willie to do. Man, come on, man. Come on. Don't throw a wrench in the offense, especially when guys have it going, because, again, the defense was not stopping anybody. They had already gotten hot. Once they get hot like that, it's too late. So what do? Shoot. It's going to be a shootout. That's it.
Yeah. Can't argue with that, Lex.
Sometimes a good defense is a good offense.
And sometimes a good offense is a good defense, right?
Okay, we already have that. That's already philosophy.
No. His philosophy is a good defense is a good offense. That's why I said.
I mean,
but sometimes a good offense is a good defense.
Okay. Well, okay, I get what you're saying. Goodness gracious! Just won't.
It's gonna get better.
Better with Willie Green, man. Because the thing is, it's like he's concerning me. Like,
do me a favor, before you blow a gasket.
What?
I think
what?
with Willie Green. I think
I'm good. I'm chill.
I think at the All-Star break, like, if we come out of the All-Star break and we're still doing the exact same things, I'm with you. I'm with you. But what I've seen the last 2 years, Willie's been here. They play some of their best ball after the All-Star break. So
it's DC smoking on the hopium.
But everybody,
hey, can we pull up their record going down the stretch the last couple of years? There's no hopium. That's facts.
No, the computer's not working.
It was later. I know last season, they were in the play-in. I think, they were ninth because they played OKC,
right?
And they lost that home game. So I mean, they did enough to get into the play-in, but man, I'm tapped out of play-in vibes, man. I wanna have a guaranteed spot, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people would agree. Man, we got to be in the top 6. like hands down, no questions asked.
I actually think the Pelicans are going to figure this thing out, man. I mean, like most of these games, very rarely you see them just get just decapitated. You know, the Pelicans are in the majority of these games. There's usually breakdowns that's caused by either coaching decisions or it's either fundamental breakdowns like missing free throws, just when the three ball's not falling, attacking, just doing lazy, unintelligent basketball. But the majority of these games we see the Pelicans in this thing, and tonight was one of those games, or today rather. This was a win for the Pelicans that they let get out of their grasp. So, like I said, I do think they'll rebound against the Hornets. I don't think it'll be a blowaway, but they ought to respond in kind. And usually when we have these kind of games, the Pelicans do situationally, they do have a better performance when they do have these type of games. They know they should have won this game. They had this game well in hand, and they should have won it, man. It came down, like we said, Zion was 6 of 11 from the foul line. I mean, literally, they fouled his ass and put him on the foul line, and he could not come up with the foul shots. He needs to live in the free throw drill from now on in, for real. And this team they really need to up that on the priority chart big time. They need to get these foul shots because this is a major issue with this team. They just basically did a hack-a-shack on Zion Williamson, and it worked to perfection. I mean, it's just, like I said, man, we got the calls tonight, 41 foul attempts. I just can't get that out of my head. In their building, the Pelicans lost by 5, and they missed 10 free throws. So y'all are both right on all accounts all the way around, man. But in the end, the Pelicans had this one, and they're going to have to live with it. But I'm saying move that up on that priority drill situation, man. They have to get these guys together with this foul shooting. This is ridiculous. Anyway, so we're going to get out on that. Listen, I appreciate all you guys for chiming in on the Pelican Post Game Report. Please do me a service. Hit the like button for us. Also, feel free to share the show's links on your social media feed, man. It helps out the stream a lot. So we'll come back on the next matchup against the Hornets, man. And I think the Pelicans will blast the Hornets, and we will get the dub as well. So in a couple of days, we'll return. What is that? Wednesday matchup against the Hornets in the Smoothie King Center. So with that being said, we'll get out on that. I appreciate y'all, man. Like I said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share the links, and we're going to holler at you on
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps